Last season we were introduced to Slone again. She had survived being crushed in the collision event, and then her and her tank ended up in a jungle, which had been under the island from Zero Fusion all this time. And then the ground ripped open, revealing this jungle biome at the beginning of Season 3. And this is where we were actually revealed that Slone had survived. But basically, Slone's tank has been located by a man named Relic, who then came across Slone and used his technology to keep Slone alive. And this is when Dr. Slone abandoned the IO and became Innovator Slone. Slone informed us that basically she had already been in the jungle for like a few days. If I were to estimate, then probably around like 100 days. And she even references us dropping a tank on her, saying that it should take a little more to take her out completely. But the thing is that Slone has a plan, and it's to do with the old residents of the jungle who just randomly vanished. Slone then found out that the old residents of this jungle were visionaries, who used refined kinetic ore to make incredible inventions. One of these incredible inventions is the kinetic boomerang, which was obviously made by refined kinetic ore. But without a doubt, the most interesting invention made by the visionaries is definitely their stellar projector. This illustration can be found at Rumble Ruins, and above are 5 stars, and it's aligning to one of them. But I'll get into that subject in a minute. You see, this stellar projector is key to Slone's plans, and so she's gonna start to use it, but basically, well, she needs some help. Season 2 was about 4 syndicates uniting to stop the Saboteur and to save Mega City. These syndicates were the Peace Syndicate, the River Guard, the Fox Clan, and the Luminaries. Now, whilst this was going on, basically cracks were spreading around the island. It even got so bad that basically these green swampish vines were coming out of them. Now, one of the syndicates actually decided to investigate all of this, and that was the Luminaries. Because believe it or not, they actually knew what it was. And they knew it was something to do with that jungle. Also, multiple of rumbles have been happening around the island as well, specifically around the cracks and the vines. But then it got to the point of where these rumbles and cracks are just too much for the 0 point to handle. But then on the 9th of June 2023, these cracks opened up, revealing that the green vines were actually the jungle. And so this jungle had actually been under us all this time. Now, this jungle includes a location called Creaky Compound. And you may think this is just some research facility base. Well, it is, but it's the research base for the Luminaries. The other syndicates had just vanished without a trace. The Peace Syndicate, the Fox Clan, and the River Guard. And the only syndicate standing is now the Luminaries, as they are actually very important to do with Season 3. You see, in the Season 3 Battle Pass, there was a character named Trace, and he is actually a Luminary. But why is this relevant to a video when we talk about Slone? Well, you see, Slone and the Luminaries are working together with the apparatus, and the Luminaries are in this to help excavate the site of the apparatus, whilst Slone is just trying to fix and power the stellar projector. Now, like I said the word like a couple of seconds ago, well, basically, this stellar projector ends up being called the apparatus, which means the technical equipment or machinery needed for a particular activity or purpose. And this stellar projector is heavily needed for Slone's plans, so that's where they got the name of the apparatus from. Now, Slone had also been in touch with the one and only Optimus Prime, and they had talking about the fate and the future of the island. And literally, the messages that Optimus Prime gave us, well, may I say, they were very, very ominous. Like, bro, trying to be scaring the shit out of us. I'm not even lying. But yeah, Optimus Prime isn't really involved in a video about Slone. But then, stage 2 of the apparatus came along, and things started to get really interesting. Well, after like 1.5 months, they're actually extending the apparatus and building more onto it. And so this apparatus is slowly becoming what it's meant to be. The stellar projector. Purple energy has started to appear, literally like on the ruins of this apparatus. But basically, Slone wants to see some more stuff that we're capable of, like She told us to kill players with assault rifles. And she's impressed with us and our aim. And then Slone wants us to find a schematic, which is located under Lonely Labs, and of course that location doesn't exist anymore. And currently it was in the hands of Stingray, and it actually used to belong to Rift Warden Stellan as well. And then we gotta head to the location of the Rift Gate and input the schematic into a computer. And then Slone sends us on a hunt to find refined kinetic ore. And then after we did that, Slone confirms that the apparatus is not a telescope, and that she's also been arguing with the explorers lately, and that they will overreact. But then we gotta insert the refined kinetic ore into the apparatus. Well, not into the actual apparatus, like the bit where it's projecting from. And then we just gotta turn on the apparatus. And then done. We've literally done it. And then she said, there was a time where I would have recruited you for... and then never mind. So Slone is being a bit sus here. What was Slone planning to recruit us for? And then Slone reveals the plan again, and is to dodge the enemies and escape the island, so Slone is being a hero here. Well, she's kind of acting like one. And then she said, if this pays off, you might actually be the hero that the Mega City Syndicates keep referring us to. But in this video, I'm not talking about us being the hero, I'm talking about which other character is being the hero, but I'll get into that in a minute. And then this was the first time we actually heard her say thank you, and she even revealed that she never really says it often. And you may think, that's done. It's a jolly ending to the apparatus. Well, no, that is not the case. Actually, it gets a lot darker, and I mean a lot more darker. But it doesn't get darker within the quests. It gets darker within the voice lines, the lab notes. But before we get into that, the apparatus is fully built, and you can see an astral map in the sky, and this is what the apparatus is projecting. You see, energy debris from the Rift Gate is actually complicating her scans. But she mentions that she's picking up a signal that she has seen before, a signal that is familiar. You see, Slone has been trying to look into the glyphs, trying to compare it with astronomical objects. And Slone says it's difficult, but in reality, it's worth it. Because basically, it's actually hinting towards an eclipse. But all of the readings indicate that that is an impossibility, but to be honest, her standing there alive is also an impossibility as well. Well, we know the tech from Relic did keep her alive. So Slone may be overreacting a bit there. But Slone needs to listen and investigate. Slone reveals that the eclipse is the key to everything, and it is coming our way with intent. And Slone refused to believe that the people who used to live in the jungle knew about this eclipse before. Or unless they did, but it would have to been eons ago. And going back to when Optimus Prime contacted Slone, well, it actually confirms that basically he told Slone to just find a way off the island, because whatever's coming, it's gonna be dangerous. But after all of those voice lines, Slone has cracked the code. The reason why the jungle is empty and that no one lives there anymore is because the residents left it and found some true home among the stars. But this is because they left because they were too scared of the eclipse, and it was coming their way as well. So they started operations on building this apparatus but didn't have time to finish it because they knew at this point it was just gonna arrive. But then they just left. They found some true home among the stars. So that answers Slone's questions of why they just vanished. And only God knows where they are right now. But then Slone says her final words to us, of that she trusts us, and that she needs our help. And that is something that Slone normally doesn't say. But that's the end of Season 3. And now we are in Season 4, where the apparatus is just... well, the apparatus has been completely switched off. And Slone is building a heist crew to steal something from Kato Fawn. Obviously, what she finds in the end is going to be the time machine. But basically, her heist crew is the same one in the Fortnite Season 4 cinematic trailer, because that's when the eclipse happens as well, and the eclipse hasn't happened yet. But now we got to get into the title of this video. Could Slone be the hero of Fortnite Chapter 4? Now, believe it or not, everything I just said in the past, 6 minutes, well, that was actually the recap of the video. Yeah, I know. A recap about Slone in Season 3 is that long. I mean, no wonder last season was named Wild. Come on, that's wild. But to be honest, she was, the main protagonist of that season. But we gotta talk about the title of this video. Why did I mention the words, well, the name of Slone and hero. When you are to think about a character who could be a hero in Fortnite, you would probably think like the Foundation or the Paradigm or Midas, characters such as those. And when you are to think of a villain, back then in chapter 3, the first thing you would think of, the first character you would think of is Slone, and Jenna, of course. But yeah, Slone used to be the baddie. Everyone hated her. Everyone hated her guts. But she's back in chapter 4, and she's good. Well, let's think about all the characters we've had this chapter so far. So, we have a Rift Warden Stellan. I don't think this character could be like... Well, he's very profound, but I think he's corrupted somewhere. I don't think he's okay right now. Like, when you go up to Slone with Stellan, she does say, I know what you are, even if you don't. So, like, yeah, I don't think Stellan is in the greatest condition right now. But then we have the Ageless Champion, but I'm kind of trying to focus on, like... But I'm focusing on, like, main characters of Chapter 4, not just any character. But with the Ageless Champion, like... he used to be a hero. Yes, he used to be a hero, back when he was actually the Ageless. Back in the day of the Oathbound era. And of course, back then, people saw him as the only hero. Like, people adored him. He was literally the champion, but now he's really not. Like, he hasn't done anything for us as a looper. He hasn't done anything for us. No, he's very important to the chapter, I'll tell you that, but, like, he's not really relevant. He's never really seen, so, like, I wouldn't classify him as a hero. But also, let's move on to Season 2 with, like, Evie. She's definitely not a hero. Like, she only really used us to just protect a city, not a whole goddamn island. And that goes to Thunder, Mizuki, and Stray as well. But to Mystica. Mystica is... Mystica is very important to this chapter just because she's the leader of the Luminaries. But I suppose I could probably say that to Trace as well. Of course. Trace is not the leader of the Luminaries, but, like, the Luminaries have done so much for us this chapter. They've helped us in Season 2, and they also helped us in Season 3 as well. But something that the Luminaries also did is help Slone, who is the final character I need to talk about. Of course, Slone was the most important character last season. Like, she played a massive part to the story, and she's also playing quite a big part to this season as well. And also, like, in her quests, they're not quests, in her recordings, she did want to help us. She really did, and she wanted us to help her as well, because, like, well, she wanted to help everyone because the island was in danger. And also, she had knowledge on the Eclipse. She has literally knowledge on everything, to be honest. Like, come on, she was a former member of the Imagined Order until she left them. And her voice lines were really profound, and I mean really profound. Like, for a season that was hated as fuck, it actually managed to have good voice lines. And I'm sorry, I can't disagree. Season 3, it was very shit in my opinion. Like, it's with summer seasons. Not really many summer seasons are that good due to, like, Epic taking a massive break. And to be completely honest, like, Slone, I don't know. I feel like Slone has been, like, the most important character this chapter so far. Like, no, I'm not saying it's Stellan, nor, the Ageless Champion. Of course, they were the most important for Season 1. I'm not saying it's Evie. It could be Mystica or Trace, but no, I just wouldn't think them as main characters. So this technically leaves us only to Slone, but, like, could she be the hero of this chapter? Honestly, I would say the hero of, last chapter. Well, that is a good question. Who could be the hero of last chapter? Ooh, maybe I would probably think it's definitely a 7 member. Maybe the Paradigm. I'm not sure about the Foundation. He was kind of lacked last chapter a bit, but, like, maybe the Scientist or the Paradigm. Probably the Scientist or the Paradigm as well. Like, to be honest, like, she did do a massive sacrifice in the Fracture event, and we are here on the Chapter 4 island, also known as Asteria, because of the Paradigm. She brought us here. If it wasn't for her, we would not be cranking 90s in Mega City. That would just not be happening. But to be honest, Slone hasn't really done that much to confirm herself as a hero. I mean, like, she's been the most important character by far. And to be honest, we've still got quite a bit left of this chapter. Like, we've got Season 5, and maybe she could play a massive role in that. But, like, after the voice actor strike, I'm not sure. The only thing that is literally like shooting us right now, and we're not dodging, is the voice actor strike. Like literally, that's very big. Like that could change everything I say about Slone being a hero, and that could change a lot of other stuff as well. I'm really not sure, because like she could also play a massive part in the Durian event as well. Like it's most likely she's gonna play a part in the Durian event, but like, and maybe they've already got the voice lines recorded for that event. Like, but I'm not sure. I really can't confirm anything. I'm sorry, I really can't. Like, but to be honest, like, I don't know. If the voice actor strike does get resolved before at least November, then I think everything would be fine. I think everything would be absolutely fine. But like, Mara Janot, I think Mara Janot, the woman who plays Dr. Slone, I don't think she's being paid much. Not just by Epic, by other companies as well, because she's in other big companies. Well, she's in other big games as well, for example, Genshin Impact and many other games as well. But that doesn't mean she can just rely her whole career on Fortnite. Like, she's getting paid to do this, you know, and if she's not going to get paid, then she's not going to do it. And again said, I do think Slone will have a very important part for the rest of this chapter, especially in the Durian event. Like, I don't know, if she does a sacrifice, then she's definitely the hero of Chapter 4, but like, if she just even helps us, then she's also definitely the hero of Chapter 4. Like, if another hero steps in, for example, the Paradigm or the Scientist again, then, I wouldn't really classify them as heroes of Chapter 4, because they were barely in it. They weren't in it at all, actually. Well, the Paradigm, she's different, but the Scientist or the Foundation or any other 7 member, no. And literally, the future of the Chapter 4 island is in Slone's hands. And so that's why I think Slone could be the possible hero for Fortnite Chapter 4. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. Remember, it's what I personally think, that Slone will be the hero of Chapter 4, and like, if you think someone else will be the hero, let me know down in the comments who it is. And also, sorry for shouting in some components of the video. I just get a little bit overexcited. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, guys, more videos are coming soon. Anyway, see you all, and goodbye.